Hi, this is James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit me on the Cash App. The donations for the Cash App goes for mask and tape, acrylic paint, and paint brushes. If you can send $1 or two, it greatly would I greatly would appreciate it. Okay. All right. This one's called From Chitown to Tennessee. From Chitown to Tennessee. Look, it's been a long time now, but still remember the feelings that I had when I left Chitown, Chicago, Illinois. I was working at a high school, at Thorn Ridge High School, and I was doing pretty good there. Actually, I had worked there for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, I started talking to my mom. My mom was in here in Tennessee, and all of her kids, all of us were staying in Chicago. But that was some of the best times of my life, staying in Chicago, because me, my sisters, and my brother all stayed together in a place. So we all stayed together with our kids and everything. We all stayed together. We stuck together. My mom was gone. She was gone to Tennessee. So I would talk to my mom every day. I would give my mom a call, just talk to her. And she was expressing to me that she told me, I wish some of y'all were out here, you know, out there, with her. And that touched my heart. That really touched my heart. So I was thinking about it every day until one day I just went to my job and I filled out my recognition papers, to resign, my resignation papers, you know. So they asked me, "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "Look, I'm going to move from here." So I told my mom I'm coming out there, okay? Then I had to tell my sisters and my brother, which hurt me to have to tell them that I was leaving. But, well, we got over it, and then I took what I was going to take. I left a lot of stuff, my car and everything. I left it there. And my bed, everything. So when I got here to Tennessee, I went to my mom's house, okay? I I wasn't used to staying with my mom and stuff like that, but it's okay. So I was I had moved with my mom, and I was asking her, look, I had a little money on me, but it wasn't that much, it's just a couple of $100. So I told her, I said, look, I need to look for a job because I've been working. Every time I would leave a job, I'd be going right into another one, in Chicago. I've always been working. But this time I said, look, I need to find a job. So, and with my luck, I found the job within 2 days. 2 days. It was for this security firm called Wackenhut. Wackenhut, I started working for Wackenhut. So then after I started working with Wackenhut, they sent me to solid waste. Solid waste. It was a terrible place. I think I touched on that a while ago in one of my other videos. Solid waste was a garbage dump where garbage trucks come to, where they park all those garbage trucks and stuff. And my captain, who's my friend now, he's still my friend. He's my buddy. My captain told me, he said, hey, look, just work here. You can, if you work good, you can have the account, you know. So the first day when I got there, man, I was clean too. I had white shirt, you know, my pants and shoes was shine and everything, you know. And I got to that site and it was terrible. It was roaches walking around in the booth and rats running around freely. And they weren't scared either. So I took the keys, opened up the gate, stuck my arm in there, locked the gate back with the keys, and left. Went home. I abandoned the site. So when I got home, I called the captain. And I said, hey, he said, hey, wait, what's going on over there, man? I said, nothing. I'm not there. I'm at home. He said, what you doing at home? What you doing at home? You done left the site. You know that's abandoning the site. You know what that's grounds for termination. I said, well, go ahead, do what you got to do. But until you get me a good site, I said, that's beneath me. I don't work at places like that. You know, till you find me a good place, then don't call me. Don't call me. So I set out to look for another job. Look for another job. The next day, the captain called me back. He said, hey, James. I said, yeah, what's up, man? He said, look, I've got a place for you. Oh, yeah? He said, yeah. He said, it's a special assignment, and it's only for a couple of days, okay? It's over here at the hotel, you know, where the hotel ultimately where I became manager on duty, okay? So he sent me there, and I think I was guarding a ballroom or something. So I just sat in the ballroom, and then I left that morning, you know. The next day, went down there, sat, you know. It was nothing. Then a guy came in there who wasn't supposed to be there. So I ended up chasing him out of there. Chasing the guy out of there and ran out into the parking lot, and I caught the guy. So there was a person, he was a security director. He came up to me and said, man, you did good, man. You did good. Good job. He said, man, what's your name? I told him my name and stuff like that. He said, okay, would you be interested in coming to work here for us? I said, yeah, I'll work here. I'll work there. They said, no, I'm talking about coming to work for the hotel. I said, yeah. He said, okay, I'm gonna call your captain and see what we can do, okay? And I told him, yeah, okay, sure. So he called the captain, and the captain said, look, he's under contract with us. So he has to work for us for 6 months before he can get out of the contract. I don't know what that was, but and he said, okay, cool. But he's going to work for us. Okay. So I ended up working for the hotel and then working for Wackenhut part-time. I chose to take Wackenhut part-time. So it panned out right. So I worked for Wackenhut for 6 months, and then I went straight to the went straight for the hotel. So after I worked at the hotel for 6 months, I was officially in the hotel. So, and I was working my way up. I had became supervisor for the security department there. Okay. I became supervisor, and then it was posted up that they had a manager position open. So I said, "Oh man, they got a manager position." I said, but it was for the midnight shift. But I was hungry. I'll take any shift, you know. It was for the midnight shift. So I filled the application out for it. And everyone said, "Look, you will not get that position because they want, a different type of person." I said, "I am a different type of person." Okay? So fool around, and then they sent me a packet back to the security office. And I opened it up, and it was for the manager on duty position. And they said, "Hey, look, we're gonna give you this amount of money to work manager on duty." But I had done research to tell me that managers on duty got way more than that. So I turned it down. I refused it. And everybody called me crazy. They said, "Man, you crazy. You an idiot. Why you turn it down? Man, you could have been manager. You turned it down." I turned it down. 2 days later, they sent another packet to me with more money. I looked at that, and I wrote them a memo back to them, telling them, "I thank you for the position and stuff, but I have to turn it down because it's not enough money. It's not enough. Because I understand that other managers make this amount of money." So I turned it down. So everybody said, "Man, you crazy. Oh man, you messed up. You messed up." And then 2 days later, they sent me another packet. And that was sufficient for me. That was sufficient. So I said, "Yes, I'll take the position." So they told me I will start tomorrow, the next day. So I started the manager's position the next day. But it was another manager there that I was kind of shadowing at first for the first day. Okay? So I was shadowing a manager for the first day. So I was going around the hotel, going to each department, speaking to the supervisors there, just speaking to everybody, and then finding out how to deal with guests and stuff. So after that day, I didn't need to shadow nobody no more. I didn't need to shadow nobody because when I was security supervisor, I was getting around just like that, getting around to each department, talking to supervisors and stuff like that. So it was straight. So then when I got there, I talked to my mom. My mom found me an apartment. Okay. So I moved over in apartments. But these were kind of bad apartments. Memphis, Tennessee, it made me think of the way Chicago used to be. Chicago was more advanced than Memphis at that time. And Chicago was more rougher than Memphis. So I would, like, when I was going to work one day, no, I was coming from work. I got off work and was driving home. And I stopped by these apartments, these row houses, which I thought they was row houses. They were actually projects, a notorious projects. Notorious. There was a lot of deaths and everything over there. But I didn't know. I didn't know. I was driving past and I stopped and I saw some guys shooting ball. And I pulled in there in that projects, but I thought they was row house. Cause see, like those little houses like that, we call them row houses in Chicago. Row houses were like right a step before middle class, step below middle class people. So it was a decent place. It was a decent place. So I went there and I shot ball with them. And I was talking trash to them too. Talking crazy to them. And they were talking crazy to me. And they said, man, where you from, man? You ain't from around here. You ain't from around here. And I said, no, man. I said, I'm from Chicago, man. He said, oh, man. So, all right, what's up, Chitown? So all of them start calling me Chitown. But I stayed out there for 2 hours shooting ball with them, with killers, drug dealers, all of them. I shot ball with them, talked trash to them, got up in one of their face, and we was arguing and stuff like that. And we squashed it and then just kept shooting and stuff. Then I left. And I went back to work the next day. I told them, I said, man, I was over at some of these row houses over here, man. I had a good time, man. I shot ball with those brothers. And I named some of them off too, because we introduced ourselves, So they said, oh my goodness, man, you crazy. What you doing over there? I said, what you talking about? I just shoot. He said, those wasn't what you call row houses. Those wasn't those was the projects. Those the worst projects around here. And I said, oh my goodness. I didn't know. But I didn't go back around there no more, but I didn't know. I was green, So after I moved to the rinky-dinky apartment, I guess the apartment was okay. It's just the area around it was bad. And the neighbors were getting on my nerves. Neighbors would knock at the door and stuff like that. And then I moved from there. And I moved over on a place on Willette Street. Willette was a decent street. And I moved into a duplex there. It was decent. And I was still working at the hotel then, It was going on a year I had been working at that hotel, So then I got that place furnished, and it was a decent place. It was a decent place. It was. So after that, I decided to move. Well, I went through some things with a chick that I was with then. Actually, she came from Chicago with me. So after that was over, I decided to move from that place. And then I moved to Peach Street. And I loved that apartment. It was an apartment. It was nice, man. And so I stayed in that apartment almost a year. Then I moved from there and moved to McNeil Street in a house. Then from that house, from McNeil, I moved to Watkins. Watkins was a nice house. It was. It was nice. So I don't know, man. But I do know that it was a good move. It was a good move. Now that I got down here, my sister moved down here and my brother moved down here. So now I got family down here. But my mother passed, you know. So I had always said that whenever my mother would pass, I was going to go back to Chicago. Yep, I was. But when she passed, I looked at everything I accomplished out here. I had accomplished a lot. You know, I was still working at the, no, I wasn't working at the hotel when she passed. I was working at the library when she passed. But I had worked at the hotel for 13 years. 13 years. And then as soon as I left there, I started working at the library immediately after. Yep. And it's been, I started my mask and tape treasures, you know, where I make animals and everything. I make everything. I'm not just going to say animals because I make everything out of this. So when I started doing that, I was solidified then because I got recognition. I'm known out here. Yes, I'm known out here. And I got classes and everything. Matter of fact, I've got a class coming up June the 21st and June the 16th at the Hollywood Branch Library and at Randolph. Okay? So I have classes and I make stuff for people, you know. So I think it wasn't a wrong move I did. At first, when I first got here, I was thinking, hey, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going to try it out. But it was a good move.
Man, I wouldn't have left Chitown,
All right.
man. I wouldn't have left, man. You should have stayed, man.
Look, man, will you shut up?
Oh, my bad. As you were.
All right. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos to everybody so that everyone can get this experience. And subscribe to my videos, okay? All right. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Cheers.